We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, but Skype we are not yet available. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, life energy and breath movement. Life energy has two layers, and it is good to understand it. Remember, the breath movement connects the voluntary and non-voluntary system in your body. In your body, the major part is non-voluntary. Most of the systems in the body are non-voluntary. The blood circulates. You are not asked about it. You do not have to do anything about it. But it goes on circulating. Only during these last 300 years, man has known that blood circulates. Earlier on, it was assumed, it was thought that blood just fills the body and it does not circulate. Because you cannot feel its circulation, you cannot feel its movement within the arteries, it goes on working without you, without your knowledge. It is non-voluntary. You eat food. The moment the food goes down the esophagus, the body starts working. Beyond your mouth, you are not needed. The moment food goes down beyond the mouth, the work of the body, the involuntary, non-voluntary system begins to work. And it is good that it works this way, non-voluntary. If it was left to you, you would create a mess. It is such a great work that if you had to do it, you would not be able to do it. You would not be able to do anything else. If you take a cup of tea or soft drink or any food, it would be enough to keep you engaged whole day, to work it out and to transform it into bloodstream. But it happens. The body works non-voluntarily, and there are few things that you can do voluntarily. You can move your hand voluntarily, but you cannot move. You cannot do anything about the movement of the blood in the hand. It cannot do anything directly with bones that move in the hand, bones that make your hands move. It cannot do anything with the system that works, but I can move my hand. You can move your hand, you can move your body, but you cannot do whatsoever goes on within it. There is no way that you can interfere in that. I can jump, run, sit, lie down, but whatever is happening inside, that is non-voluntary and nothing can be done to it. On the surface, you are given freedom. Sex is a mysterious phenomenon. You start it, And then a moment comes when you are not needed anymore. Sex is started as a voluntary action. Then there is a limit to it. If you cross that limit, you cannot come back. If you do not cross that limit, you can come back. So sex is both voluntary and non-voluntary. There is a limit up to which your mind will be needed. But if you do not lose the mind, your head, your reason, your consciousness and religion, your philosophy, your way of life, if you do not lose your mind, then the boundary will not be crossed and you will be experiencing sex only in the voluntary realm. And this is what happens with most of the people. This is what is happening. Then after sex, you feel depressed against it, and you may be thinking of renouncing it and taking a vow against it. Of course, these vows will not last for long. Within 24 hours, everything will be okay and you will be ready to move again into it. But it becomes a repetition and the whole thing seems futile. You accumulate energy, then you throw it. And nothing results out of it. And with this comes long boredom, a drab thing. That is why monks and teachers who are against sex appeal to you. They are talking about something that you can understand. But you have not known the non-voluntary aspect of sex. You have not entered into the non-voluntary realm of it. The deepest, this non-voluntary realm of sex is the deepest biological dimension. You have not looked at it, you have not touched it. You always come back from the limit because that limit creates the fear. Beyond that limit, ego cannot continue. Beyond that limit, you will not be. Sex energy will take hold of you. It will possess you. Then you will be doing something which you cannot control. Unless you can move to the uncontrolled phenomena, the non-voluntary realm, beyond the mind, you cannot achieve orgasm. And once you know the uncontrollable life energy, you are no more into it. And this is a paradox. Once you know this uncontrolled life energy, you are no more in it. You have become just a wave in a great ocean, and things begin to happen spontaneously. You are not forcing anything to happen, but these go on happening. Really, you are not active. You have become passive. This is the non-voluntary realm beyond the biology. In the beginning, you are active. And then a moment comes, then you become passive. And when you become passive, only then the inner orgasm happens. If you have known it, you will understand many things. Then you can understand the religious, you can understand what surrender really means, which is the essence of the spiritual journey, inner healing or transformation, then you can understand the surrender of a disciple to a master, its significance and what it does. Then you can understand the surrender to someone, surrender to the existence itself. First, the physical surrender, which you, without any fear, you do to someone, your wife, husband. Then the second surrender you do to the master. And the third surrender is to the existence itself. But if you do not know anything about surrender, it is difficult to conceive of what it means. So it is right. Sex is deeply related with surrender. If you have known deep sex, you will be more capable of surrendering, because you have known a deep pleasure that follows the surrender. You have known a bliss that comes as a shadow of surrender. This is in the physical aspect of the surrender. Then you grow in trust. Sex is biological surrender, and samadhi is cosmic. Samadhi or cosmic consciousness is existential surrender. Through sex you touch life. Through samadhi, ecstasy, you touch existence. You move even deeper than life. The basic existence is touched. Through sex you move from yourself to another person. In samadhi you move from yourself to the whole, the cosmos. Tantra is, if you allow me, is cosmic sex. It is falling in love with the entire existence, not the physical sex, biological. It is falling in love with the whole cosmos. It is a surrender towards the whole existence, and for that you have to be passive. To a limit you have to be active, and beyond that you are not needed. Your presence becomes a hindrance then. Then leave it to the life force. Leave it to the existence. The second thing, if you go on thinking about surrender as a negative and passive, nothing is wrong in it. It is passive and negative. But negativity and passivity is nothing to be condemned. In our minds, the moment we hear the word negative, some condemnation enters. The moment we hear passive, some condemnation enters. Because for ego, both these are negative and passive are deaths. Nothing is wrong in being passive. Passivity is a way to be in deep communion with the universe. Passivity is a deep communion with the universe, and you cannot be active with it. That is the difference between religion and science. Science is active with the universe. Religion is passive with the universe. Science is just like a male mind, active, and violent, forcing. Religion is the feminine mind, open, passive, receptive. Receptivity is always passive. So there is nothing wrong with receptivity, nothing wrong with passivity. Receptivity is always passive, and it is true, not to be, and the truth is not to be created, it is received. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.